We are continuing to track the Electra Fire tonight. It started yesterday south of Jackson and then just exploded overnight, now burning in Amador and Calaveras counties. CAL FIRE says the fire has burned more than 3,000 acres. There is still no containment and 450 structures remained threatened. Just hours ago, the Amador County Sheriff signed a local emergency proclamation. And this is a look at the evacuation map. New mandatory evacuations are affecting about 500 people in Amador County and up to 400 in Calaveras County. That's the red area that you see on this map right here. Now, the yellow indicates that that is evacuation warning area. You can find all of this information by scanning the QR code on your screen. And ABC 10's Brandon Redman is live tonight in Amador County with the latest on the firefight. And Brandon, it has been a really scary 24 hours for so many people out there.
Yeah, it's been rough, and this fire is really difficult to fight because of the terrain. There's hundreds of homes up where I'm standing, but if you look down there, that's the canyon that the fire came out of, and it gives you a sense of just how steep the canyon walls are. It's not the kind of place where you can just drive a bunch of fire engines to. They're having to, really throw the kitchen sink at this fire to try to get firefighters the upper hand. Fortunately, the weather is cooperating a little bit, and I'll talk more about that. You can see they've dug a dozer line right up here in the foreground, and what they've been doing around this neighborhood is burning deliberately a little chunk of the vegetation below a little bit at a time to try to burn it in a calm fashion rather than have the fire come roaring up and over this precipice and into the neighborhood itself. They've also been getting help from lots and lots of airdrops, slowing this fire down with fire retardant. We saw the DC-10 super tanker out here flying earlier today, along with several others, a whole host of aircraft, including helicopters that have been flying over this neighborhood throughout the day. We saw evacuations in this neighborhood when we first arrived. It looked pretty hairy, to be honest with you. We're off of Clinton Bar Road. If you're not familiar with Amador County, think the drive up to Kirkwood on 88, just off the right-hand side of your car as you were passing through Pine Grove and Pioneer, just a bit south of 88 is where we are right now. This fire putting these neighborhoods at risk right now. It put lives in danger when it started yesterday in the afternoon. There were people taking a dip down in the river in the canyon along Electra Road, and they weren't able to get out. They used a strategy that's something people should think about if you live in fire country. Sometimes the escape route isn't the way to go. They had a bunch of fire engines coming in. It was a single lane road. So instead, people found a safety zone, a big clearing where they could ride the fire out. And we heard from some of the people who had to do that for hours last night.
I kind of didn't start freaking out really until we were actually going into the powerhouse. When the fire was at the parking lot and the fire truck was right there, and my vehicle was right next to the fire truck, and the fire was right there, that's when I started freaking out. That's when I said, well, okay, well, now we need to go inside, take the babies inside.
And she shared some of her video with us today of having to ride that fire out at the powerhouse that she mentioned. That's a PG&E hydroelectric facility. It had a big honking parking lot that was scraped down to dirt. A good, safe place to ride the fire out. CAL FIRE says they got 100 or so people safely out who managed to ride the fire out that way around 9:30 last night. So it was a long 4th of July for those people. A little bit further down the road, back towards Highway 49, about halfway to the highway, we saw this crime scene tape right along Electra Road. That's a good indicator that it's a place that arson investigators have been looking at. This fire is believed to have been human caused. There wasn't lightning in the area, but we don't have any word on a suspected cause of how specifically someone might have started this fire. We can tell you it was right along the road and right along the riverbank, no power lines in the area. Fire investigators will be looking at that in the days ahead. This firefight for the next 2 or 3 days is going to be absolutely crucial. We're very lucky. It could be 20 degrees warmer than it is right now here in this part of Northern California. It is going to, though, be warming up in the days ahead. So they're going to want to try and get this as buttoned up as they can before the weather turns. Guys.
All right.